Today, I'm recording one specific lesson on writing a research proposal. This is the first lesson in a series of lessons which will include writing a proposal and later on writing a whole project, research project, or research report. I have been contacted by many people and requested by many people to do something like this, though it's not my general habit to do something like this. However, it felt like something, or it gave me a positive energy to think about putting up some lessons like this. And that's why I am finally preparing to put this lesson on YouTube. And this is for mostly undergraduate students. In general, it is for general management students, marketing students, human resource students, anyone who want to take advantage from some of these guidelines when writing. However, I will strongly suggest that students should be rather confirming from their own tutors and lecturers in their own universities on how to write, and especially the structure of proposal. What your university's lecturers propose, please follow that structure. My lesson is merely for some guidance on how to write a research proposal and nothing more than that. So let's proceed from with this lesson, and let me introduce myself first. I have been working in teaching and learning and education industry for quite some time. It's over 26 years now since I have been teaching at various level and managing quite a lot of places. Actually, few of those which I have mentioned in the bottom of this page, you can see. I have an MBA. I am also an MSc in HRM and postgraduate certificate in education and lifelong learning from Greenwich University. So I have all the necessary teaching and development CPDs in my career. So you can be assured that what is being told over here is not being told by a novice, but it is being told by somebody who has experience in this. At the same time, I would suggest again that please do follow your lecturer's instructions on how to do this one. Now, as I said earlier, that this is the first lesson in the series of many lessons. First lesson is introduction and developing a research, how to develop a research proposal, picking up a topic, selecting an organization, writing your aim, writing your objectives or research questions and stuff like this. This is the contents of today's lesson. However, it will be followed by lesson 2, which will have some guidance on how to develop a literature review, which is significant part of any research proposal or any research report or project reports. And that will be followed by the third lesson in the series, and that third lesson will include research methodology, which will include a number of different methods which at undergraduate levels can be used to conduct good research. Now that these three sections or three lectures are specifically for research proposal, which will be followed by 2 more lessons which will be specifically on fourth lesson will be on data analysis and data analysis, and the last lesson will be based on what you have found out, meaning findings, conclusion, and recommendations for your proposal and for your project. So let's begin with our first lesson today, which is about thinking and deciding a research topic. Now, this is a very big issue for many students because the moment we think of something like a research topic or research proposal, the first thing that comes to our mind is basically uh, that there is an organization which has a problem. That's not how it works. Not all the organizations have a problem. Some organizations are facing some very positive environment, very positive progression, and doing very well. That could be also a part of your topic. That definitely is something to think about in terms of having issues in the organization. No organization is free of problems. No organization is free of issues. However, one has to think about something very important. Are all those problems worth doing a research? That's a big question you have to ask yourself. Do you think that the problems faced by every organization can be and should be researched? It's not the case like that. Only some of the serious issues can be discussed or can be researched upon. I'll give you a few examples. Let's say NHS is one of the biggest or rather biggest organization in the United Kingdom. Largest one, which consists of many different NHS trust, and each NHS trust have many different areas, and each area has many different hospitals, and the problems are always there. There is a problem. For example, there is a lack of human resources or workforce right now in the NHS, so that is big problem. But if you think that you can write a 3,500 to 5,000 words report on NHS in a very limited time, which is usually 14 to 16 weeks, don't that is not going to be possible at all. You cannot encapsulate all those problems which are faced by such a large organization. So be practical when you are deciding about a research topic. You cannot do the research on whole NHS. You cannot do research which is organization wide in Tesco or organization wide in ESDA or organization wide in even Sainsbury. You cannot do a research on British Rail. That is too big. However, now, when I say you cannot do the organization wide research, that is definitely true. However, you can think of some part of those organizations. Another example, when I say that a part of that organization, think about one hospital, or not even one hospital, one particular department of a hospital. For example, you can think about orthopedic section or orthopedic department of a hospital. That is big enough for somebody at undergraduate level to do some research on. Similarly, students who are doing marketing or organization management or organization development, for them it would be worth thinking of the market size or the market issues or marketing issues or sale problems or production problems or innovation issues or innovation which is causing problem for the organization, or even self cannibalization of its own products, and innovation can do that definitely. So you have to think about so many things. Similarly, some places at some organizations are facing really a positive progression and positive development within them. You can think about, remember, you can think about doing some research on how come at a certain time where there is cost increased cost of living, uh, salaries are not meeting people's everyday expenses in certain conditions, and where many organizations are facing very tough competition around the clock. How can some organization can do very best? You can take example of still, this Apple products, or Tesla car in cars. These are doing very well, or even Toyota cars, which are hybrid and fully, and even new innovation of Toyota is hydrogen based car, or using hydrogen as a fuel. So those are the innovations which are definitely positive move by those organizations in certain environment where people are finding it difficult to survive, especially the middle class of a society. How can these organizations be successfully selling or achieving highest sale figures? So these are the things which you will definitely have, and you must think about. So in conclusion, think about an organization, or even before the organization, think about a whole sector, or whole what we call the bunch of organization which belong to same industry. You can think about industry, but don't think that you can do a project on an industry in 5,000 words or 4,000 words. That is not going to happen. Put it in your mind. So don't think too much, okay? Because you are the one who will be in trouble should something goes wrong during when you are writing and completing your research proposal or your project proposal. This is the first thing. So think about an industry first, then the sector of industry, one part of industry. Entertainment industry is very big. It includes entertainment, those of any kind, including hotels, or pubs, clubs, restaurants, stuff like that. But again, you will have to select one sector. Let's say hotel is one sector. Now, hotel industry itself is very big, so you can't really practically do a research on hotel industry. So stick yourself to one typical hotel, okay? You can do the research. This is the first thing. And research is not also always thinking about a problem in the organization, but you can also think of opportunities which has been uh, given to the organization under which they are progressing very well. So this is one of the thought you should keep in mind, okay? And again, this is important to create delimitations of your research. When we say creating delimitations, we are talking about creating a research which is limited, not too wide, not too broad. You can't do that because it won't be possible for anyone to do that within very limited time and within very limited word count. Having understood of thinking a research topic, so you can talk about HR issues in a hotel, or you can think about causes of low business in some places in the industry or in the market. I mean, there could be hundreds and thousands of different topics which you can think of, but thing is, choose a topic which is limited to a certain organization and a certain area of the business, or area of the organization. I mean, organization consist of many different uh, what you call many different departments. So you can think about a different department. Production you can think of, or low productivity in the production department, or decrease in or outdated machine and its impact on production. Or even you can think of stuff like relationship between innovation and business objectives. Or even you can think about uh, let's say if you are a human resource student, you can think of the relationship between working from home and employees' quality of life. Or you can think of employees within HR sector. You can think about working from home and employees' performance, overall performance, because it has been observed, by the way, and there are so many different researchers present. One of even my own research is there, in which we think about the relationship between working from home and the employees' performance in the organization. It was observed that employees' performance increased by 20% if they are working from home. On the contrary, it has also been observed that in such cases where employees are working from home, their work-life balance is greatly disturbed. So this needs to be very clearly defined in your research topic. So this is one thing about when you are thinking about and thinking about selecting an organization. Now it is very common that if you go to large organization, for example, these Tesco's or Shell or Esso or any of those organizations, they are not going to entertain you to provide you data or practical data, the real data based on which you can develop your actual research contents or research reports. So my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, I'm talking subjectively, that I would personally refrain from selecting Tesco, or and this is very common phenomena I have observed among the students, that they select Tesco or Asda or Sainsbury or those smaller consumer product organizations. They're not going to give you any data, but at the same time you can talk about one of the branch of any of these. But how you can do that, the process is, you go to store or you go to the organization, you talk to somebody over there, you tell them that, okay, I am an undergraduate student in such and such university, and I am writing this research report, and I will be grateful if you can allow us to collect certain data, and that can be done. You have to go there, and if they allow you, then you can write an email to them to make it formal, and they will reply you. Or, I'm not saying it is an easy way, but it is somehow convenient to select an organization where you are working. And again, my observation is quite a number of students in the classrooms, they are not working, which means that there's a problem. If they are not working, they can't write an organization. So, end of the day, you have to select an organization uh, which is not known to you, or where your friends or relatives are not working or stuff like that. It's easy to pick an organization where one of your friend or you yourself or one of your relative is working. That will be an easy comparatively, I'm not saying very easy, but comparatively easy to approach those organizations and collect the data from there. But remember one thing, these are serious research projects and you have to actually collect the data physically from those organizations in order to make your research authentic. Now, having understood that, we are now preparing to write an introduction to the research, which is, we call it Chapter 1, Introduction and Background of the Project Proposal. Now, it consists of 5 important parts, including introduction, background of the proposal, project aim, project objectives or project questions, and ethical consideration of the project. Now, these are the important parts of your Chapter 1 in the proposal. Now, I'll explain to you one by one what is included in the introduction, what is the background, project objectives, and project aim, as well as ethical consideration. Think about introduction. What is introduction? Now, this is a common mistake which many of you make when you're writing an introduction to the research, that you tend to write more stuff about something that you know more and less stuff which actually is needed. I'll give you example how. When you are writing an introduction, you will write lots and lots about your organization, but you are not introducing the topic. And that's one of the big issue actually, when you don't tell what is the academic introduction of your proposal, what topic it is, why you are writing on that, what is the importance to you, what is the significance of that to you. And that's what is the introduction. So 3 or 4 things you need to remember. Introduction, definition of the key parts of your proposal. That is one thing. Secondly, why you are writing or setting the scene for a research. Okay. When we say setting the scene for research, you have to moderately and as much as possible clearly set up the reasons for you to write this research and what this research will accomplish. Okay, this is what, so what you are writing in this, 3 parts. Okay, let's say 1.1a, introduce the topic and some definition which are in part of your proposal. 1.1b, why you are writing this research, why you want to do, what is your motivation of doing this research. 1.1c, what this research of your will accomplish, who will be benefited from this proposal. So these are the 3 subparts of introduction which you need to provide very, very clearly, though you are still writing under the restriction of the word count, but make sure that these 3 parts are there in the introduction. When we say about background will explain the actual issue with the relation to your organization, that this organization has been facing such and such problems or such and such benefits in the market or in the department, or it has seen, the organization have seen that recently in the past 2 years the employees has demonstrated a lot of satisfaction about their organization and about their job, and the researcher would like to look into the factors which are giving those employees a lot of motivation and due to that motivation, the organizations, the people who used to leave organization, that number has gone down. So I mean, there are, as I said in the beginning, there could be positive things, there could be negative. So this is the background. So background is about the organization, okay? That you are writing about this organization, this department of this organization, and this organization have been looking at these problems, and this is the background which actually gave me the motivation to go forward and do this research. And you can also explain in this section that that the researcher contacted the head of the department of this organization, who agreed to provide some data. Once you have done that, then you will write the project aim. Now remember, project aim is always short and sweet and complete. Short, sweet, complete, which gives a complete understanding to the reader that what reader should be expecting in this research or in this project. How? What do you think? You can write any example on that. I can give you 101 example. I can say that to critically examine the relationship between working from home and employees' performance in ABC organization. What are you trying to do here? Now, this is one sentence, single sentence, which tells the whole story in one sentence. Or you can say, to critically analyze the impact of innovation on the overall profitability of XYZ organization. This particular topic applies both on marketing people or on finance, or BA in finance. Both can take advantage of this kind of proposal. But remember, don't copy this. I mean, just develop your own. I just gave you a couple of examples for your understanding. I'm not telling you how to write and what you should be writing. Once you have done the aim, after the aim, you have to develop 3, no more than 4 objectives or research questions. And those objectives or questions must be driven from your project aim, which means that your project aim will be broken down into 2, 3, or 4 different sub questions or sub aims. Those sub aims we call project objectives or project questions. Now, it has also been observed that many students write project objectives followed by project questions. If you are doing that, then you must be careful that your objectives and your questions must be same, not the different. You cannot write different objectives and different questions, because it will increase or it will double your efforts, and you will be requiring double the number of words to finish your project. So this is very important also for you to think about that. So as I said, if you are writing a project or a research which is 3,000 to 4,000 words, or even 5,000, 3 to 4,000 words project, 3 objectives are more than enough. And this is based on my practical experience, actually. And if you are writing like 5,000 words project, then 4 objectives, no more than 4. But remember, you cannot develop questions which are close-end questions. For example, a question which start with is, am, or are. Those are not, because their possible answers are either yes or no. There is nothing to explain in those questions. So what, how. These are the questions which you will be thinking about when you're writing the project objectives and project questions. Similarly, the objectives at this level, at undergraduate level, you should be thinking of writing either analyze or critically analyze. You can use either of these terms, okay? Or at the same time, you can do uh, critical analyze, examine. You could critically examine or critically analyze something, okay? So this is how you are going to develop the objectives or research question. And as I said earlier, objectives and questions need to be same, like similar outcome, not a different one. Otherwise you will be in trouble. The last part of the proposal is ethical consideration. What are the ethics? Remember one thing, GDPR regulations are very, very highly implemented in the country, which means that if you are collecting the data from your subjects, collecting the data from participants, you cannot use their names, you cannot disclose their names, organization, designation in your report, because that will be against the ethics. You are not using any participants who are minors or who have certain disabilities and project their disabilities in the report. That is not possible. You cannot do that. So protecting minors, not using participants' personal details, all these are the part of the ethical consideration of the project which you have to write. You can find dozens and dozens of documents of how to write ethical consideration in a research project on Google. Once you do the Google, you will see all those stuff. But these are the few important guidelines which I could provide. I hope these will help you in developing your research proposal. But if you still believe that there are some questions, you can post your questions on the comments, and the typical reply is within 48 hours. However,